It is a great day to balance your hormones, and we're going to do that by starting with breakfast. And one of my favorite things to do for breakfast is to begin the day with a high protein breakfast. We're not going to have sugared cereal, we're not going to have toast. We're going to start with a meal. And what I like to tell clients, friends, and family is we want to have dinner for breakfast. And for today, I'm going to show you and share with you and cook for you my favorite dinner. I have cooked it 4 times now. It is my jalapeno buffalo chicken. So let's get started. So we're going to start with a little bit of butter, like maybe a tablespoon or so. And I should have turned my pan on before we started. But we're going to do this right here. And while the butter is getting hot, we're going to add some garlic to it. We're going to add some onion. One of the reasons why it's so important to start your day with a high protein meal is because it is going to help balance hormones. It's going to give you better energy. It's going to help with wound healing, and it's going to help to regulate your blood sugar. So it's very important that you get at least 30 to 40 grams of protein per meal. And if you want to get exact, just take 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you should be eating about 100 grams of protein. And what I tell clients to do is just divide that by 3, and that is how many grams of protein you should have at each meal. So that makes it super easy. So we're just going to add, I really like these. I like the freeze-dried red onions, and I have to be careful with this because my son does not like onions, and I can't add too many or he'll taste it. So I'm going to get a different spoon. So this is getting nice and hot, and then I'm going to add about maybe a tablespoon, maybe 2 of garlic. And another cool fact about protein is that it's going to help boost your metabolism, and it helps reduce breakouts because it's regulating your blood sugar, and protein is the key. Something else I want to tell you is that a couple years ago I transitioned from Teflon pots and pans to stainless steel, and I loved the Cuisinart cooking set, and so you can find that on my Amazon list. I believe it's there. And getting used to stainless steel there was a little bit of a learning curve, but I really like it. So make sure that when you're cooking your meals at home, that you are using stainless steel or Dutch oven or something that does not have Teflon and toxic chemicals in your pan. So now that this is looking good, I'm telling you, this meal is so easy. It's so simple. All you've got to do after this is we're going to add lots of chicken. Now, I have right here, I have cooked chicken thighs, and this is not going to be enough. And I had canned chicken on hand. So I'm going to actually add the 2 together, because when you're making a high protein meal, you've got to double the protein. Most meals, it's like 2 cups of protein. We want to double that, and it depends on how many are in your family. We have 3 adults in our family, but I double and quadruple the protein because we eat a lot of it. So I'm going to take my chicken thighs, and I'm going to add that just like that. Oh, there's a green bean. Going to take the green bean out because Kyler's not going to like that. And I'm going to add the rest of the chicken, the canned chicken, just like this. And make sure that if you are using canned chicken, that it's just straight chicken. Don't let them put any fillers, flavors, chicken bouillon. Don't do that, because then it's just adding more trash to your food. And we want to keep it as clean and healthy as possible. So for this recipe today, I have 3 cans of chicken. Do you see how much chicken this is? We don't skip on the chicken. And another reason why you want to make sure that you're eating lots of animal protein is because it has a higher amino acid profile. And that is what your body needs for wound healing, for regulating hormones, and plus you get lots of vitamins and minerals from animal sourced protein. You can eat your plant protein, but this is where it's at. So we're gonna throw that in there, and then I am going to add, I got this from Costco. It's their coconut unsweetened milk. I was disappointed to see after I bought it that it has guar gum and it has filler in it, which I don't care for. If you can use the canned milk that doesn't have that, that's even better. But for today, I'm gonna add canned coconut, and just know that the recipe is below that you can click on. You can take a screenshot of that and cook this for your family. They're gonna love it. It has the best flavor. So I'm adding this whole thing of coconut milk, and I am going to let it simmer and get nice and hot and bubbly. Now here's the magic. It's in these two ingredients. So I've already cut the jalapeno, and I'm not too fond of the seeds, so I pulled all the seeds out. I just like the flavor of the jalapeno. And what I do is I just throw it in my little hand chopper thing, and it cuts the jalapenos for me. Some of you might like to do it by hand. Good for you. I like to hit something. So we're gonna do this, and it calls for two jalapenos. Okay, we're gonna do that. Get that little piece, take it out. Look at that, how fun is that? This was like the best thing I ever bought for myself. So you've got all this beautiful jalapeno, and you're going to put it right in your dish. This gives it such a nice flavor. But we're not gonna stop there. There's one more thing that you guys are gonna love, and it is buffalo sauce. Now watch out for ingredients, because when I was at the store looking for good buffalo sauce, this is the only one that I could find, and there's like 1 cup in this, and it was $8. And I was hoping I could find a cheaper brand, and there was cheaper, but they had fillers, they had just ingredients that I didn't like. But I really like the Primal Kitchen. I'm not affiliated with them, but I like them. So you're going to add a whole thing of buffalo sauce to this dish. So it's starting to get warm, and the flavors are starting to come together. I'm also going to add some salt and pepper. Remember, you're going to aim for about 30 to 40 grams of protein for each meal. And it might take a little bit of getting used to, because if you're someone that really likes oatmeal, and there's nothing wrong with oatmeal, this might be a little different to start your day off with an actual meal. And I would say most of the population here, most of our culture, American culture, is a few grams of protein for breakfast, a few grams of protein for lunch, and a dinner with about 20 grams of protein. And we want to do better than that. Also, if you're working out, this is going to help to fuel your muscles. It's going to help to build your metabolism. So I'm a huge advocate for protein, high protein. Okay, we're just going to let this simmer and take a look at it. So while that is cooking, we are going to chop carrots and red pepper. Now the recipe calls for putting this in the actual dish and letting it simmer together. However, my picky teenager, he won't let me do that. And so what I like to do, which is, it actually turned out so good. I don't know if anybody else liked it, but what you're gonna do is you're going to chop 1 red pepper. I don't know, there's something about slamming that lid, kind of like slamming the weights at the gym. I kind of like it. We are going to chop a red pepper, and we are going to chop carrots. And instead of putting this in your dish, you're going to add it as a, I don't know, what would you say, a garnish on top of it. And I really like the crunch of the veggies, which you'll see. And it probably doesn't make sense, but I add it after everything is cooked because I have some picky eaters. So once this is done, then I'm just gonna hang on to that. It's got the carrots, the red peppers, excuse me, really, really good. And we're gonna add this to the top of our dish when it's all done. Our dish has been simmering for just a few minutes, and now I am going to add the magic ingredient, the buffalo sauce. And I actually dump the whole thing in it. And this is what gives it a zingy, tasty, flavorful flavor that I just really, really like. And I think that you're gonna like it too. It adds something different because your tongue's like, what is that? And if people didn't know that you added buffalo sauce, they would not be able to put their finger on it. So I'm gonna add this to it. I'm gonna mix it all together, and it's basically done. And what I like to do is I like to add this to rice, or you could add it to cauliflower rice. So you guys, seriously, this only takes like 10 minutes. It's so easy. I know you can do it. It's done. And what I've done is I've added like a half a cup of rice. I'm not that big of a rice eater, but I'm a big meat eater. So I'm just gonna put this all together. Yes, I will eat all of this. Look at how much meat that is. Lots of meat. And then I am going to add a handful of pepper and carrots to the top. So colorful, so healthy, so easy. Look at that. How yummy is that? It's too hot for me to sample for you, but I've made this like 4 times and it's so good. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks for being fans, and I'll see you in the next video. I almost forgot to tell you the most important thing about making sure that you get enough protein, and that is to take your leftovers from the night before and store them in a glass container. And I found these glass containers, I love them. I found them on Amazon, and what I do is after dinner, I take all the leftovers and I'll put them in my little containers so that breakfast is ready to go, because you're gonna find that the hardest part about eating this way is making sure that you've got all the meat ready and your meals ready. So just do the work the night before, pop it in your little container, heat it up in the morning, and you're off to a successful, happy, balanced, hormonal day. See, it's still super hot. That's good. It's so good.